Hey everybody, hope you had a good day, or if your day is still going on, I hope you have a good rest of your day. This part of the video right here is going to be the most important part today because there are some things I want to convey to all of you. First order of business, thank you guys so incredibly much for all of the incredible support on all of my anime content lately. It also seems that there is some interest in SM Squared, so I will be keeping that on the channel and I will be providing the news, updates, and whatnots, the important stuff here as well on that. Now for my second order of business, if you're new around here and you like what's going on, make sure you absolutely destroy that subscribe button. We're on the way to the 250 subscriber goal by the end of the year. Being able to share my love for content that I do on this channel with you guys is absolutely amazing. It's a godsend, honestly. I am so fortunate to be able to do this right here and now. Alright, I guess that's enough about me. Let's get on with why you're here. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, share the video, and let's get on with it. Guilty Crown isn't just your typical boy meets girl anime. After a fateful encounter, Shu Alma must learn how to embrace an entirely new world that he never even wanted part of. What he discovers along the way will cause him to rethink everything he thought he knew about the world. What starts off as a normal day is quickly turned on its head. Shu is an average 17-year-old. There's nothing about him that stands out except for his fondness for the band Egoist. But that's all it takes for him to become entangled in the threads of fate and what some would call a war. One girl bears the burden of being the reason for it all, despite the fact that she doesn't understand that there are those who wish to exploit her. Where these two unlikely characters end up is decided by Shu's determination to protect what he holds closest to him. As the wheels of fate turn, the siren song that seemed to be Egoist music drags Shu straight into Inori Yuzuriha's world, the lead singer of Egoist. In a ruthless fight to protect Japan from the disaster of 10 years prior, Shu swallows his reluctant pride and reservations about joining forces with Inori and the guerrilla group behind the push for Japan's independence. Christmas 2029, known as Lost Christmas. The emergence of a foreign virus of unknown origin plunges Japan into chaos. The virus would kill mercilessly and almost instantly in many cases. People would become crystallized and shatter like glass. This plunged Japan into absolute chaos, causing the government to designate the infected as threats and erect quarantine zones. Japan effectively lost everything that once made it free. Unknowingly at the time, Shu Alma would play an indirect role in the emergence and spread of what would be called the Apocalypse virus, simply because his younger sister would become Patient Zero. Now fast forward 10 years, in order to prevent a repeat of Lost Christmas, the GHQ, an organization created by the UN to control Japan during and after Lost Christmas, becomes center focus after Shu joins forces with Funeral Parlor. His involvement, however, is based on one condition and one big lie. After Shu becomes involved with Inori, he's tasked with keeping her safe while she delivers a mysterious biological weapon known as the Void Genome, a weapon that allows the wielder to use a person's void as a weapon. This power is given the name of the King's Power. This power analyzes human intron sequences, which are then converted into voids. Shu's involvement with Funeral Parlor is based on the condition that he aid them in their fight to regain Japan's independence and overthrow the GHQ. In one way or another, Shu is forced to drag his friends and the ones he loves into the fray. After the vial containing the genome Inori was to deliver to Funeral Parlor shatters, Shu is accidentally bestowed the King's Power. In his first ever fight, he quickly realizes there's no going back. From here on out, Shu is a full-fledged member. Funeral Parlor is dogged with frequent fights and becomes the catalyst for Japan's largest ever fight for freedom, and with such conflict come the casualties that follow. Guilty Crown is packed to the brim with countless moments that will either have you desperate for more or reaching for the tissue box. There is no absence of colorful character dynamics. Even side characters that normally would not play a major role in most other anime become chess pieces. One move can decide the entire game. When it comes to growth and dynamism, Shu is the poster child. After a devastating loss in episode 15, Shu suffers the agony of loss and grief, closing himself off to everyone but Inori. However, Shu isn't the sole catalyst, nor is he the only one struggling to find himself. Inori must also come to terms with the boy she thought she knew and assess her own feelings. Viewing herself as no more than a monster, she makes a choice to protect Shu just as he once did her, even if that means facing the inevitable. Unable to figure out who she really is until faced with the potential to lose everything, she makes a choice. Face her demons or let her demons drag her down into the murky waters of the abyss. Her burning passion to do the one thing she does know about herself catapults Inori into an almost motherly role just to protect Shu. Guilty Crown is laden with hidden themes that range from trauma and self-doubt to darker themes such as deception and pride by those who you'd least expect it from. With the very future of Japan, perhaps the entire world, hanging in the balance, Guilty Crown confronts the viewer and forces them to make a decision. Who do you trust to be on the side that leads to the truth? The intersection of Shu and Inori's paths lead to many sneaking tentacles rooted in fear and deception that the two must overcome together or risk losing everything and everyone, even each other. After discovering that no one is really who they say they are, Shu turns his back on the world, full of distrust and spite, leaving Inori to pick up her pieces alone. This selfish ambition is more than just that, however. It is the desire to prevent further tragedy, and although his motives are misguided, the reality Shu was looking for, his anchor, never really left. Inori, a lost soul whose purpose only seemed to be no more than a tool for a cause that was bathed in blood and deception. Inori becomes the true catalyst in a bid to discover her purpose and, once found, grips Shu with an iron fist, afraid to let go for fear she would lose everything that made her whole. Full of twists and turns, a war between truth and deception, Guilty Crown traverses this rocky road in an attempt to clear the murky waters that is the line between good and evil. But what lies beneath only blurs the line even further. Shu and Inori find themselves caught in the middle of a conflict that can only lead to pain and sorrow, but at the same time brings two unlikely people together. From love and hate to jealousy and pride, Guilty Crown embarks on an adventure that carefully weaves a story of young love and ambition, all while offering up a fiery debate on trust and what it means to truly know what makes you whole, even after the fires of war have long been extinguished. With that, I'm going to leave you with one question, in direct relation to the anime. When the seasons change and the forget-me-not flower has bloomed again, will you remember what makes you whole?